I watched their team on several occasions, and they're very good, you know, in all three phases. So as a coach, you like to see that, have a great opponent that you know you're going to have to play a very good game to compete with.
What are your thoughts on Flowers, their quarterback? Because he seems like he's one of the better guys in the country as far as, you know, signal callers.
Yeah, he is a real dual threat type guy. To be able to transition into the new offense like he did and still have the same type of success, I thought was very impressive going into his senior year. And he's one of the best playmakers in America. So we'll have our hands full trying to contain him.
You both played a close game against Houston, so does that kind of is that something else you can point to your players?
Yeah, I've never really, you know, things changed throughout the season, so I never kind of compare games. I think each one is kind of its new venture, but we know they're good. We hit, you know, Houston was a very good football team, and you watch the teams that USF has beaten, the way they play the game, and you can tell they're a very good football team.
Is that a team that athletically is about like any other Power 5 team?
I think so. I think they match up well with anybody. When you're talking about speed and athleticism, you know, they can play with anybody in the country, and there's no question about that. So we'll have our hands full, and we know that, and we got to prepare accordingly.
Their talent aside, the fact that you faced Coach Strong before, and you said you've already watched them quite a bit, does that help in preparation?
I'm not sure. You know, they run the same, a similar offense. They adjusted obviously to their quarterback, but I'm not really sure what they're doing defensively, and so we'll have to watch the film and get a feel for that. But there may be a little familiarity because we have competed against him and some of those staff members the 3 previous years.
Coach, in any bowl season, where do you balance kind of letting your guys enjoy kind of the whole week of everything, but also taking the game as seriously as you would any other week?
Yeah, I think everybody wants to win the game first and foremost, but you want them to enjoy the experience, be around each other, and so we'll practice hard and enjoy the festivities at the same time.
What do you think about playing Allegiant Field?
Played there one other time when I was at University of Houston against UAB, and you know, it's a legendary spot. I think it's a unique experience for our players to get to play in a stadium with that much history, and so that'll be fun. It's a beautiful stadium, beautiful setup, and I think our players will really enjoy that.
You know Sterling Gilbert very well?
I do, very well. So that's, once again, I think he's done a tremendous job with that quarterback and adjusting to that young man's skill set, and they've been really good offensively. And so that's going to be a challenge for our defensive staff. Coaching against him last year, they're going to have a feel for it somewhat, but he's definitely tweaked some things with that quarterback he has.
Kind of along those lines, how impressed have you been with Coach Strong being able, you know, first season at USF, and to not only have the success they had, but to get off to the start that they did?
Yeah, that's awesome. It says a lot about what he was able to do to get in there and capture those players' hearts and minds, if you will, and get them to buy into what he and his staff is about. And they had a tremendous year. We're in every game, had some big wins, and says, you know, a lot about him.
Coach, what do you consider to be the most important single thing to being successful in a bowl setting?
I think just being able to maintain focus throughout the entire month. There's a lot that goes on. You have finals, you have the travel process, you have the festivities. So being able to focus that, you know, the most important thing is winning the game, and so we'll try and make sure we're one-track mind on that and have great practices leading up to it, and then when we get to the site, make sure we're focused and locked in.
When are your finals, and so when will you have down days here in the next week or so?
Yeah, next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday, Tuesday, they'll be in finals, and so we'll kind of practice around those days and let them focus on finals.
Coach, Joe Robinson no longer on staff. Could you just speak to that decision?
Yeah, I just felt like we needed to move in a different direction. We appreciate what he did the 2 years he was here, and just felt like we needed to make a change.
How will special teams be handled then over the next 3 weeks?
Just divided amongst the staff. We'll have somebody run point on it, and each coach will help with a different phase and take it from there.
Who will run point on it?
We're still working through that. We're out recruiting right now, and so we'll get back tomorrow and figure those things out.
Health-wise, where do you guys feel like you'll be going into the game here in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, really good. You know, I think having a month to get all the bumps and bruises healed will help, and then, like I said, we've been practicing lightly the past week, and we'll continue to practice and build up to a couple game weeks prior to the game. But we feel good about our health and should have most of our bodies ready to go.
Could maybe Mason Reed be a guy that makes a comeback, or is he probably out for the year?
I think he'll be out.
Gotcha.
We're still sorting through that and trying to get him 100%.
Same for Justin, or kind of where's he at? It'll be his last game, obviously.
Yeah, we'll see. Justin, he felt good after the last game. I think it was more precautionary than anything, so hopefully he'll be ready to go.
What's the status of guys like Jalen Lane and Willie Sykes that we haven't seen lately?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to be available for the bowl game.
Are they still on the team?
As of today, yes. We're still taking it day by day, but I wouldn't expect them to play in the bowl game.
Earlier this year, you had mentioned that Jed Duffy was taking scout team snaps at wide receiver during your practices over the next 3 weeks. What position are you going to have him practice?
Yeah, he's a quarterback. He's been practicing really well, practicing at a high level, and he's starting to get his kind of his mojo back at that position, which is fun to watch. He's a very confident young man, has a tremendous skill set, and he's been practicing at a high level. And he's a quarterback. We just didn't have a lot of bodies over there on scout team, so he's athletic enough to run around and help us at wideout, but he is 100% a quarterback.
What's your thoughts on who your starting quarterback will be?
It'll be Nick. We'll start Nick, and we'll get those other two guys ready to go and see how it goes. But he's practiced really well this past week, and I think that game really helped his confidence, and I expect him to play at a high level in the bowl game.
Also wanted to ask you, with Xavier Martin, is that a thing where you think he's going to stay at receiver, or you think there's any chance he can move back?
No, he's a receiver.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he'll play receiver for us, and we're going to need him. We lose a lot of those senior receivers, and he's the guy that's got to step up for us and has the ability to do so.
And speaking of, Xavier Castile's a guy that's been redshirting for you. How important is this, practice period for guys like him and all the guys you have that are out just this 15-day period for next year?
It's huge. I think you ask any of the college football coaches, that's one of the biggest parts of being in a bowl game, is being able to get those extra practices, those spring practices, and it's just a precursor to your 2018 football team, and that's how we're approaching it and getting those guys as many reps as possible.
Along the same lines, who else among guys that have been redshirting this year have looked good over the last month or 6 weeks?
Yeah, I think Joe Wallace and Nelson and Banasor, both two big physical defensive linemen, have really been dominant at times. It doesn't matter who they're going against, first team O-line or scout team. So those are guys that we're really excited about moving forward.
How much is Nelson working? How much do y'all view him as a defensive end versus a defensive tackle?
Yeah, I think the good thing about him is there's some versatility there. I mean, from nose to tackle to end, he's athletic enough and has gained enough size to kind of play anywhere. And so he's just got to keep coming on, but we're really excited about him.
What size is he now?
He's about 285 pounds.
Eli Howard got that extra year eligibility. Could you talk about that and what that means for you guys?
That's big. It's amazing to think he still has, I guess, 3 more years.
Right.
But the sky's the limit with him. I thought he really made big strides about midway through the year. You saw him get back into playing shape and really understand what we were trying to accomplish defensively, made a ton of plays, and he'll just continue to get bigger and stronger and has a chance to be a tremendous player for us.
Are there any guys on your squad that you expected to make first team All Big 12 that didn't, and you were kind of disappointed in the outcome on that?
Yeah, I never really buy too much into that. It's more about what they do for our team, what they mean for our team, and those guys know what they mean for our team, and so I always leave it at that.
Cliff, what's DeLeon's status this week?
He's day to day. He practiced last week, and hopefully we continue to get him to practice, but he won't play in the bowl game.
What has been what's been your assessment of how he's handled the last 3 months? In terms of meeting your expectations?
Yeah, he's close, I'd say. He's close. I mean, we're still working through some things, but he knows what he has to do moving forward to be a part of this team, and we need him, in the spring ball to help that running back position and provide depth and provide competition. That's when we all get better, and he knows that.
Was it primarily an academic concern with him, or is it just off the field?
I'll just leave it off the field.
2 more. Other than the quarterback, what stands out for you with USF's offense?
I think, just schematically, I've always thought that Sterling does a great job. They can push the tempo, they can run the football when they need to, they take shots. Very creative in his game planning, and I think just their overall scheme and how quickly that team has picked it up.
Ever since leading that comeback against UT, have you just seen a new kind of maybe confidence in Nick, or is he just kind of same old, in practice?
Yeah, I think, I mean, anytime you have a moment like that, you're going to build some confidence from it. And I think he just cut it loose and got back to, focus on what he needed to, and that's winning the games and not thinking about anything else. And so I think he'll have that approach moving forward, and I expect him, like I said, to play really well in the bowl game.